We will start with the next slides. Please, Dorota. Okay. Firstly, I would like to answer the question, what does sustainability or sustainable development mean? The Brundtland Report has defined sustainable development as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. But what are the problems facing sustainable development? There are basically three issues: overexploitation of natural resources, scarcity of these resources, and of course, climate change. Therefore, humanity and the planet face unique environmental challenges. In 2015, as a response to this growing threat, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, a plan of action for people, planet, prosperity, and peace. The agenda incorporates 17 integrated and indivisible goals that encompass the three pillars of sustainability: ecological, social, and economic. These three pillars must be considered in an interrelated way. Next slide, please, Dorota. Secondly, why is education for sustainable development necessary in early childhood education? It's vital to enable children to link human actions with consequences over the planet. The aim is to promote learning to live sustainably and to preserve the planet. The importance of education and training to address climate change is recognized in the United Nations Framework Convention of Climate Change in 1994, and the Paris Agreement with the Associated Action for Climate Empowerment Agenda 2015, between others. The design of current early childhood education frameworks provides the groundwork for children's intellectual, psychological, emotional, and social development. This offers enormous potential for fostering values, attitudes, skills, and behaviors that support sustainable development. Incorporating nature and ecology into teaching practices further enhances children's sustainability competencies. Next, please, Dorota. In the UNESCO research called Teachers Have Their Say, Motivation, Skills, and Opportunities to Teach Education for Sustainable Development and Global Citizenship, more than 58,000 teachers all over the world discussed over the importance of education for sustainable development and global citizenship education. Most teachers expressed that climate change, sustainable consumption and production, human rights, and cultural diversity and tolerance were very, very important subjects to be taught. Next. Nevertheless, 1/4 teachers did not feel ready to teach topics about sustainable development or global citizenship and peace. Previous research in this field in the Spanish context have pointed out the need to organize preliminary and continuous teacher training at the preschool level. Because of this challenge of empowering teachers, the project Kid Labs for Sustainability was developed. This project is in line with Education for Sustainable Development and Global Citizenship Education because it teaches children from a very early age to see the connections between our actions and the consequences to the planet and how each one's actions can contribute to sustainability, enabling them to learn sustainable habits. Dorota, I give you the floor.
Thank you, Monica. Our project is a result of the cooperation between 5 partners with Ignatianum Foundation from Cracow, Poland as a main coordinator. We also had Fondazione Politecnico di Milano from Italy, Lunza University from Italy, Universitat International de Catalunya from Barcelona, Spain, and Dublin City University in Ireland. While designing our project, we wanted to achieve 3 main objectives. First of all, we wanted to enhance the quality of preschool education by introducing the subject related with education for sustainability. We wanted to provide teachers with a wide, innovative repository of educational materials, guidelines, and new curriculum. Second aim was to introduce the subject education for sustainability to teacher trainings at the universities, at least the universities which were participating in the projects, to provide teacher trainers with suitable materials and a manual for conducting such new subject. And third aim was to build the wide synergy, not only between educational practice and researchers at the universities, but also to build the community around the preschool, supporting this particular preschool in introducing concepts related to sustainability in a local environment. So we invited parents, families, local authorities to cooperate with this project. As a result, we started from building the repository of STEAM outdoor activities for sustainable development, which were carefully selected, described, translated into 5 different languages: Polish, Italian, Spanish, Catalan, and English. And all these materials are right now available on the project website, of course, as open educational resources. At this point, even though the presentation says we have over 500 resources, we actually have 625 different resources. And by resource, I mean the description of a single lesson or workshop or experiment, which can be freely chosen by teachers and adjusted to their needs. Our repository is structured according to seasons of the year, because this is the most popular way of structuring educational materials, but also the same materials were structured again according to spheres of Earth, to show the teachers that maybe some parts of their job is already related with some important concept of sustainability. We along with the repository, we provided also the theoretical backgrounds of the new curriculum and methodological guidelines for educators, explaining them how to use these materials in a practice. And we have a little movie here.
I don't think it's actually playing, Dorota. It's the music, the word that isn't.
Okay.
But it gives it a sense.
We tried before the conference, and it worked. At this point, it's not working. But anyway, even without the music, you can see that the example of workshops which were actually provided in the preschool. Here we have the example of a workshop when children 5 and 6 years old are building the bee trees. I'm sorry. Fine.
Dorota, if you want to share your screen and perhaps describe what's happening, that would be good. We are not seeing your screen.
Okay, so you saw the materials collected at the beginning of the class. Now the children are selecting these materials and using very simple tools. They are building the bee houses, measuring, using the tools which are in educational practice usually considered to be too dangerous. Many teachers are afraid to give to the children something like a hammer. As you see, the children are having fun, and they don't have the problem with using hammer or measuring or even evaluating the balance. And a drill, of course. Now they will fill the boxes with materials for bees to be to build their nest.
Okay.
And of course, as a result, the children would go to the preschool garden with these houses and place them there and take care of them. All the materials available in our repository were structured into the learning pathways. And by the learning pathway, I understand the cycle of materials, the sequence of materials related to one concept or one subject. For example, except the traditional learning pathways such as Flower Meadow or Colors of the Spring or Thousand Facets of Autumn, we also designed the pathways which were based on the concepts such as circular economy or building sustainable relationships. In general, we already have 30 different learning pathways. Some of them were created by partners in the project, other were created by learning community members whom we invited to cooperate with us. And as a result, the repository, along with the new curriculum, was tested in practice. Yes, and
Sorry.
now I give the voice to Yvonne, who will
Yeah,
explain.
no, I wasn't sure whether you thought I was here or not, just to make sure. We carried out this study in 10 preschools with 24 teachers and 240 children in total. Now, there were 79 parents responded to those, 3 of which were male only. As you see there, that's 32 from Poland, 19 from Spain, 13 from Ireland, and 15 from Italy. Now, each of Dara's going to play just the activity there, and you'll see it. It's an outdoor activity that was carried out as part of the outdoor activity in Ireland. But each of the teachers were asked to do a learning pathway, but they could choose their own learning pathway to link into the curriculum itself. So this one here is, you see that they're actually just being creative with using cardboard for Easter, and then also another time we'll see in the video, if we can push it on, you'll see that it's for St. Patrick's Day. So it's linking in with all the different times, the specific times of the year, and playing with cardboard. So that's part of it. There were more activities then when they're outside. And encouraging students and pupils to fix what has been broken, and upcycling, and challenging skills and different skills, like and here we have the Sarah teacher is actually playing with the students outside, and they're actually putting into the ground to try and used foods to make the soil better, and the students then want to all play with the shovel and to be part of this process, and they all want to have a go to make it happen. Okay, Dorota, if you want to go on to the next slide then. So these were some of the parents noticed that there was 6 types of reactions observed. Like there was an eagerness to discuss and want to talk more to the family, and when they came home from school, the preschool, they actually wanted to talk and to carry out the experiments again. And of course, this had an effect on the family and an impact on the rest of the family. So next slide, Dorota. So one of the things that it was amazing with the actual students was their understanding at a very early age of scientific terms, like their understanding of global warming, of climate refugees, of Arctic and coral reefs, pollinators. How does the greenhouse effect work? These were words and these were sentences they were talking about at home. And what they did was they were asking their parents for more information. They wanted to know more. And of course, the parents were finding themselves under pressure to find out more and to be able to answer their questions, which was great. So they were looking for more information, but they had the actual the terms. Also, there was an empathy. There was emotional engagement and excitement and curiosity, asking more questions, engagement with the world around them, the natural world around them, and really feeling, a sense that like, oh, we have to do something about this, worrying about the ice caps melting, and then starting to do experiments at home. And as a result, they want this was infectious. This was passed on to the rest of the members in the family. These are some of the, as I said, I'm really worried about the ice caps melting. I want to find out, how can we help? And these are young children that people say, oh no, they're too young. They're too young. They weren't too young. They were really having an effect on the rest of their family, on their adults, on their parents, and trying to see the results and do the actual experiments again. Making water. I made a water filtration system using things we had around the house. So that was all part. There was a change in the children's everyday behaviors. They started to actually turn off the lights. They were very aware of recycling, and they wanted to put the plastic bottles in the right bins, the actual waste food in the right bins, making sure not leaving the water running, making sure that they were actually turning off the water, and telling their parents if they weren't doing that, Mom and Dad, you have to turn off the lights, you have to turn off the water, which was great. So it had a ripple effect. And as a result, here you have the parents saying, I've really been getting into recycling everything I can find around the house. I take shorter showers now, and I look after the plants. I look after a few plants, always remembering to turn off the lights. I've been trying to be more eco-friendly. So there was a real sense of working together as a family to make a difference. So here we have the whole idea that the parents found they were trying to change, that these children actually had been change agents within the household, influencing everyone to change their attitude to a more sustainable lifestyle. Okay. And then, these are some of the comments from the parents. We should definitely get an electric car. Remember to use reusable bags, to donate things we don't need or swap them. So there is a real sense of moving on and how they can actually change things. So let's recycle more. I think we should use both sides of the paper to save it. So there is a real sense of being sustainable, and that has been started by the young children that have carried out the actual different experiments and plans within school, learning pathways in school. Dorota?
Yes, to conclude, we were surprised to find out that even a very brief didactic intervention, because that was a learning pathway which lasted 3 or 4 weeks, depending on the preschool, we could achieve a significant impact, not only on children, but also on the whole family. That's why we designed the online course for educators. It's published on the project website. And even though the course was initially addressed to future teachers, prospective teachers, it can be used by in-service teachers, parents, or any other educators who are interested in sustainable development. Our course consists of 4 modules. The first module is related to sustainable development. The second is explaining how to use the outdoor environment as a playground for education. The third one deals with STEAM approach as a methodology which can be used in sustainable education. And the last one, summarizing the course, is related to sustainable relationships, teaching and learning through sustainable relationships. We already tested that course with our students in 4 different countries, and right now we are in the process of publishing the course on different websites which can host such courses for teachers.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for the presentation. Thank you to the presenters. Any questions